It is no surprise that you can make a lot of money on YouTube, but did you know that you can do that without showing your face? 3 years ago in 2019 when I started, I had no clue, but now 3 years later, I do this and make over $30,000 per month without showing my face on YouTube. In this video, I'll take you along my journey starting in 2019 as a simple guy having no money at all to now making over 30k per month and hopefully still being a simple guy. Let's start at the beginning. So it was 2019. I had just previously graduated high school in the summer of 2018 and I knew I didn't want to go back. I knew school wasn't for me. I wasn't really good at it because I just didn't put any effort into it. I just knew it wasn't going to be for me. So I also knew that I had to do something in order to make money so that I did not have to go back to school. So I had to go do something. Now at that time, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and I remember it quite vividly. I started watching Graham Stephan and Reyes the Entrepreneur, and both of them started sharing how much money they made on YouTube. They started sharing their actual analytics back in 2019 or the end of 2018. I was watching those videos and I thought, hey, if I can only get 1 million views in this niche in the next year, I'm gonna make more than enough money to simply keep doing this. Because remember, back at the time I was like 18, living at home, no cost at all. So if I could make a couple grand, like 8, 9,000, maybe 10k in a year, that would be more than enough to not go back to school. I was pretty much trying to find a reason not to go back to school. So at that exact moment, I decided to start making YouTube videos. I wanted to post once every single day. Now at the start, that was pretty tough because there was no one watching. I kind of looked like a fool. So after a couple of days or weeks, I can't remember, I actually quit posting for a couple of days. But then afterwards, I just started again because the desire to get it was bigger than the pain I currently had creating those videos. I started learning everything there was to YouTube. I started watching every podcast, every video about how you can grow. I started reading books. I started pretty much trying to gather as much information as possible on how to break into the algorithm, right? So I was on a roll again. I started uploading every single day. I did not miss a day for 6 months straight, and in that period I started growing. At first it felt like there was no growth at all, but then slowly but surely I started getting more and more views from YouTube search, which is what I'm now heavily into. Back at the time, that was kind of like a natural way my videos started getting views. After a couple of months, I actually hit 200 subscribers, then 500, 700, 800, 900, hit 1k subscribers, which is amazing. And then from there on, I kind of started getting some virals, which then made my channel explode. I started getting hundreds of thousands of views per month and also started making quite a lot of money. So that one video that went viral changed absolutely everything for me because my channel now blew up. I then got monetized because I got the watch time, I already had the subscribers, started making decent money at that age, especially just for a kid living at home, not doing anything but this YouTube online website thing, right? And that really was that proof of concept where I just knew this works, I can get it to work, so I don't have to go back to school. I just will go all in on this stuff and I'll make a lot of money so I don't need to go back. So I got monetized, I had that viral, I kept uploading every single day, and then I pretty much went from making $0 in the first 6 months of doing it to making $100 every single day quite consistently. It was August 2019 and I was now making $100 every single day, but I was still doing all the work myself, and that continued to be like that for a while. So before I switched to YouTube automation, there would be a big moment that pretty much led into that happening. So it was December 2019, I was still making about $100 per day, so I was making $100 every single day from August until December, which you can see there was not that much growth. I was making about $3,000 on this YouTube thing. I felt like I had already made it, which is kind of stupid, but don't blame me. And I then kind of kept pushing for more. I really wanted to hit a $10,000 month. At the time, I was only at 3k, so how was I gonna do that? I had no clue. But then in December, I randomly came across a viral niche. I jumped in and made a lot of videos and it absolutely exploded. I remember hitting a video where overnight it would start to get 40,000 views per hour, which was crazy. So in the first day of that new stuff, I hit a video that had 500,000 views. Now, unfortunately, back at the time, I was doing that on a channel that wasn't monetized, so I missed out on thousands of dollars. But I had proof of concept and I had a new niche that would blow up like crazy. In 2020, I decided to continue with that one niche as well as keep the other channel. So I would keep uploading on that one channel, making about 100 bucks per day, and then I also started that brand new channel in that niche that I had just found. Now on the 12th of January, I even remember it, in 2020, that one channel got monetized, so from that moment on, I had 2 monetized YouTube channels. I was still doing all the work myself. Now with that brand new channel, I went from making $0 to $16,000 in a month at the end of the year. Let me explain how that went. It pretty much took an obnoxious amount of work. So in March 2020, we all know what happened. I'm not gonna name it, but we all know what happened. And because of that, I was at home every single day and I had nothing to do but work. So on that channel, I started working like a madman, started uploading a lot of videos. 10 videos per day to be exact. At that moment, I started outsourcing the first kind of things. I started outsourcing the video editing. So I would record 10 videos every single day. They would get edited by a freelancer and I would then upload them the day after. So from a certain moment on, we had 10 videos going live every single day. The reason that was possible is because it's search-based content, so we're not boring an audience with it. We're just uploading for the sake of ranking in YouTube search. If you're new here, go watch some of my other videos, I'll explain how that works. For the entire month of March, I did this and my channel blew up again. I went from about 20k views per day all the way up to 80,000 views per day consistently in just the month of March. Now the income obviously went up as well. I doubled down on this strategy, I kept uploading a lot of videos, and then in September 2020, I hit my first ever $10,000 month, which is crazy because back in January, I was making $3,000, I had just found a new niche, then a couple months later, I was consistently making $10,000 per month. Now that moment right there also marks the month where I never went below 10k per month again, which just shows you how kind of like reliable and steady a YouTube business can be. It felt surreal, but then after a few days it felt so normal again, which still happens. It's pretty weird. You're gonna find out yourself once you get to it. The first couple of days it's amazing and you're like, this is insane, this level is crazy, and then after a couple of days you're very much used to it, and then if it goes down, you're kind of disappointed, which is kind of sad and funny, but it is how it is. Anyway, it was at that stage that I got introduced to YouTube automation, because remember back at the time I was doing all the stuff myself. I was recording it, thumbnails, uploading, all of it myself. Then I got introduced to YouTube automation and I slowly started switching. I started getting more and more knowledge of how you can build up teams, where to find the people, how to pay them, the pricing, workflows, all of that stuff. I use platforms like Upwork and Fiverr to find freelancers that would come work for me. From there on, I started getting into YouTube automation. My channels were now automated and I wasn't making the videos anymore myself. I was still doing some of the thumbnail stuff and the uploading process, but I outsourced the video content. My bottom line profit would be less because I was now paying a team, but I actually made that money back quite fast. I had freed up my own time as it was now not needed anymore to make the videos, so I could focus on growing and making more money in the business. So my income went as follows during the next few months. In September, I had that first ever 10k month. In October, I made close to $12,000. In November, it was about $14,000. And then in December, I made over $16,000 with that channel. It's safe to say that YouTube automation was clearly working out for me. Now during 2021, I continued to run this channel and I continued to make between $15,000 and $20,000 per month with this channel. Now that is revenue, but almost 95% is profit. I then started the exact same model on a brand new channel because you want to double down on what works. I already knew how that stuff worked, started another channel and started growing that one. In March 2021, I took over a channel from a friend of mine and that channel started making $100 every single day after a couple of months. It wasn't crazy growth, but it's still pretty good and pretty steady money. It makes me about 3k per month. In July 2021, I started another channel, which was currently making about $2 per day. I still had that laying around from a previous project that didn't work out. So I used that channel to start another channel in the same niche from the one that exploded previously in 2020. I started that brand new channel in 2021, July. Back at the time, it was actually quite a scary move because yes, I was already making like $15–20k per month for a while now, but I was kind of still in that scarcity mindset where I wasn't really reinvesting a lot of money, but that changed in July 2021. I needed to make I needed to let my money work for me instead of me just continuing it, making a lot of money, but like it didn't grow with the money I already had. And that's where that changed. I started investing about $6,000 per month in content for just that one channel, which was kind of scary because right now I was investing a lot of money into videos on the internet and I had no clue if I would actually make a profit or any returns in general on that investment. So sometimes I had a lot of doubt whether to continue to do it, but at one moment I just committed, I took away my emotion from it, and I just decided I'm gonna invest 6K per month no matter what, and I would continue to do that. And it actually worked out. Slowly but surely, it started growing like crazy. I went from doing about $135 in July to about $240 in August, and you can see those numbers are very, very bad if you compare it to the 12K I'd invested up in that point. I invested 12K, made a couple $100. That's not great. But anyway, like I said, I committed and I decided to continue to do it. That's really important as well if you're getting into this. Commit, take your emotions away from it, always improve and learn, but don't think about the stuff that could happen. Try and focus on growing and learning so that it would actually work out. Then I started catching some momentum in about September, October, November, that kind of range. The channel made $600 in September, then $1,300 in October, $2,400 in November, $3,500 in December. Then in January, I made $5,100 on that channel. In February, $6,300. And then right now, March is going to be close of $8,000. Now, all of that stuff happened on the new channel while the other channel continued to bring in about $20,000. And then the other channel about $3,000. Keep in mind, not all of this is profit, but at least 90% overall in the business is indeed profit. And that's how I ended up with channels that make $30,000 per month. That's kind of like the timeline, the story of how this went. Hopefully this video inspired you to get started and show you that even though at first things may not work out, if you just keep pushing, keep learning, eventually you will succeed. In 2019, I was a stupid kid making these videos. I had no clue how it works. You just get going, you learn, you see some results, you see some data, you can improve, and then from there on, if you just keep pushing, you will indeed succeed. The goal of this video was not to be like, yo, look at me, I make this amount of money. No, I don't like, honestly, I don't like showing it because there are some things that come with that. It's just that the upside of it, hopefully, is going to be much bigger because it can inspire a lot of you to get started. So yeah, hopefully it does. Let me know what you think of this video down below. Subscribe, follow me on Instagram, I'll leave a link in the description, and then I'll see you next time. Have a good day.